Oh, it's time. Final Fantasy on the PC. You compile all those shaders you want. I see a crystal already. This might be crazy, but 16 is my favorite Final Fantasy. That's okay. One of the things that I love and embrace, or one of the things that I do love and embrace. I don't know. It seems like a weird phrase. I ended the sentence in my head and I realized that was a weird way to say it, but now that I've said it. I like how different these games can be. There are some restraints on a Final Fantasy game. Like the branding does mean something, kind of like Dragon Quest, but Final Fantasy has taken the liberty to go into different places, gameplay-wise, setting-wise, story-wise, tone-wise. So yeah, it's always interesting to see what they do. Excited to see how this game looks. Because it looked pretty good on PS5. But it can be better. Unfortunately, I thought, well, we'll get there, I guess. They gotta have espers and junk. There's gotta be crystals. Crystals. You need crystals. You need Moogles. You need Chocobos. You need magic. But the form and nature of that magic can change, but it's got to be there. Friendship, I guess. Usually, thematically, there's some kind of camaraderie that happens. A grouping of people to kill a god eventually. Yeah, you gotta have somebody named Sid, and they got to do something with an airship. We'll get Final Fantasy 20 someday? I hope so. What was the Final Fantasy on the wall in Deus Ex, Human Revolution? I think it was like 27. We gotta get there. Gotta get there. Final Fantasies usually have a fanfare. Like a jingle, an after-battle jingle. I'm trying to think of the hallmarks of the series, both in terms of gameplay tropes and also tonal things. I played through most of the game on PS5. I just didn't finish it. They all haven't had parties of 3. Some have had 5. I guess only one had 5. A lot of them have 4. 14 has 8. And 24, I guess. Jobs? Like a job system of some kind, whether that's like characters having specialized uses, which is not that uncommon, to be honest. Or some kind of system that allows characters to, like, swap roles. Blender porn, yeah. Hot babes. Babes. Final Fantasy has given us many babes all over the gender spectrum, that's for sure. Dresses, yeah. Pretty clothing. Lightning Returns is awesome. Everyone's hot. It's a very glamorous game, usually. Yeah. It's kind of interesting because the game, like, I feel like the legacy of the games, the old ones, pre-PS1 basically, the games kind of existed in 2 tiers at the same time. You had your Yoshitaka Amano art, which glamour is maybe not the right word for, or glamorous, but it was very ethereal, disconnected, wispy-like. The characters were very much characters on a stage versus, like, real people. Fae, that's a good word for it. Yeah. Gossamer. But then you had, like, sprite art for the characters. Great. Nice. Glad to hear it. Thanks, Final Fantasy 16. Some good news for a change. You're doing great. Thank you, Final Fantasy 16. Great work. You're a hell of a warrior. Oh. Why did I click on OK? Close the game. Yeah, epic music. Uh, we're off to a great start. Boy, does it have to start the compile over? I should have waited. Okay, well, it's going faster. Yeah, eclectic music, I'd say, is another hallmark of a Final Fantasy game. A soundtrack that's willing to go pretty much all over the place. And that's sourced in Uematsu's bonkers scores for most of the Final Fantasy games. Summons, yeah. Godlike beings, espers, summons, they have different names across a lot of the Final Fantasy games, but typically there are these totemistic visitations of magic. More recent games have kind of formed them up. Well, I guess Ifrit, Shiva. I think those summons have been there since 4? Could be wrong. Yeah, god killing. I don't know about that so much though. Oh, they were in 3. Damn, I don't remember that. Most Final Fantasy games will eventually personify some aspect of its story. Like, yeah, destiny, fate, and actually, I feel like this is more a trend in Japanese storytelling, to be honest, than it is something specific to the Final Fantasy games. Because you see it, or rather, I see that thing sort of happen in a lot of Japanese RPGs. And they're still doing it. They kind of took it to new heights with 7 Remake, I thought, to have you basically personify the nature of a remake to be the same. And they turned that into a boss. Steam is offline. But my scores. That was my interpretation anyway. I know that it has various other interpretations. Man, here come the pixels. Here come the frames. Here comes the melodrama. Here comes Clive being the saddest boy. Just the saddest boy. Dude. Huh. Action focused. Hold on, I hit B. I wanted to do that. I misread the window and I hit the wrong button. Is this a good starting entry for someone who's never played Final Fantasy? Sort of. The games are so unique that it might come down to what kind of games you like. And then a particular Final Fantasy might get closer to that style. Kind of how I tend to think about it. Oh wait, it's maintenance for Steam, isn't it? Yeah, that's true, general resource. They don't start getting mega experiment, or they don't start getting experimental until after 6. But that's, I think, because they had more hardware capacity to explore. Yeah, this one is more of a throwback in terms of its tone and its setting and style and storytelling and all that. Echoes of the Fallen is available for purchase. Whole new quest line separate from the main scenario. Oh, I didn't know that. Get a Buster Sword? New level cap. Ah. Final Fantasy mode. Why can't I be playing in Final Fantasy mode? Although I guess you're supposed to start at level 50 for that, so I guess they really do intend for it to be a new game plus situation. The Rising Tide. New quest line, new characters to meet and areas to explore. New side quests and a new stage, new weapons and gear. Bonus items. Iconic abilities. Level cap. I have to maximize all graphics. Ultra is correct. You say frame gen? You have to mod in frame gen? Oh, that's interesting. Does FrameGen take care of motion blur? Hold on. Yeah, it does. Ah, that makes sense. Man, another game where the controller rumbles in the menu. All right. I was on a load game. All right. Oh, you can mod in FrameGen to be in the in-game cutscenes. Huh. So the in-game cutscenes don't have FrameGen on by default? Are they at a lower frame rate? And yes, BB number 9, you can connect a PS5. Oh, they're probably locked at 30? Ah. So instead of just unlocking the frame rate, it just adds FrameGen? Well, all right then. I do like seeing some buttery cutscenes. Extract to game folder. Lorp. INI file. Fixed resolution. I mean, everything's 16 by 9 anyway. Fixes HUD. Fix FOV. Sure. Move 30 cap. True. Cutscene frame generation. True. Motion blur plus frame generation. True. Alright, looks good to me. How many games do I have in Steam? I don't know. Never really looked. Probably a lot. I mean, this has been my Steam account since Steam was Steam. Nice. So sparkly. All right, let's do it. Ah, here we go. Okay. I like that the menu kind of jiggles a little bit.
It was Moss the Chronicler who said,
"Take me away."
That the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals.
Crystal.
But it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise.
What are you doing? Another PC build? Whoa!
Temptation.
Nice.
That ever lures us back into the crystal shadow.
Churro, thanks for the sub.
And thus did our journey begin.
I don't necessarily have a need to build a new PC for a while, I think. Mine's coming along pretty well. Because this must be pre-rendered then. So I'm looking to get into the PC world and get off consoles. I also do graphic design work. What kind of graphic design? Like 2D stuff? Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're doing it. Now we're frame genning. Awesome. Just the power of PSSR. Oh, just 2D stuff? And you don't already have like a work PC or anything like that? I think getting a Steam Deck is the easiest, lowest cost way to start getting into PC gaming. But if you use professional software, that relies on Windows, then that's a bit more of a complicated proposition. The ROG Ally is an all-in-one kit. It's pretty good. And it's more of a default Windows platform. You don't have to do too much technical noodling to get it there. Those are handhelds though, and if you have a higher budget, that's kind of all revolves around budget when it comes to PC, to be honest. Console, it's like there's just one thing, or in the case of like PS5, there's a base one and a really expensive one. PC is obviously way more complicated. So depending on, it kind of all scales to your budget, which can be the nice thing about PC, but also can drive you insane. So, you know, I think Steam Deck, ROG Ally handhelds are like a nice packaged singular item that you can buy and then sort of bolt on USB hubs or docks, HDMI out, what have you. Yeah, there's also pre-built PCs, but that's where the budget starts to come in.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
And from there, I think it's an interrogation about how much you're going to use this for work, graphics design, how much you're going to use it for gaming, and you're going to have to buy a monitor on top of that too.
No one else. Where's the fun in that?
Or use a TV if you already have like a nice TV for
We'll be among them. Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind.
You have a nice TV for console gaming, you can just as easily use that for PC.
Let's get this done.
Well, just as easily is somewhat of a lie. A Steam Deck will hook up to a TV just like a console would. A ROG Ally has a button that has an overlay like that. But, you know, again, if you're going to be doing a lot of 2D work, sitting on a couch may not be great for that. You're probably going to want a mouse or a tablet or something like that. Thinking $1,500, no more? Oh, okay. You can get a decent tower for that. And then from there, I think it's like, do you already have a TV? Do you already have a monitor? Or do you need to get a new one? Because a really premium 4K display
Focus, Wyvern.
can be a thing of beauty, but it's also pricey.
What key to this mission's success?
Yes, Sergeant.
I said focus, Wyvern.
Looking around. You know me, I'm Cliven. Twink.
We don't.
I have redeemable items. All right, first save. Very exciting to break fresh ground on a save file. So do you think maybe I should just mainline the game right away? That DLSS is fuzzy. I'm wondering what it looks like with no upscaling. I wonder if I can get away with that. Or no, it's not a full 60. That'd be cool, though. That's all right. You can see some ghosting around Clive, but it's not... it's kind of funky. Let's see if I can ratchet up the quality... how it performs. This is in your future, by the way. This is so weird. Yeah. It's weird that it's ghosting in front and behind like that. Wow. That must be a really old version of DLSS or something. Those are some pretty gnarly artifacts. Huh, your Ace Combat 7 playthrough showed up in my recommended. I didn't know you were a fan. I just recently played through all the Ace Combat games, and I am a fan now. I'd always been curious about them. Never really, never really put the time in. Try that. I guess Frame Gen was doing a lot of that, where it's a combination of it. I think Frame Gen is like taking the initial blur and blurring it into additional frames, which is kind of funny. Let's see if I put it on dynamic with no Frame Gen. Let's see how that looks. That's not as egregious. Maybe I need to take Frame Gen off the cutscenes. I'm going to do that. I'll have at least the frame rate unlimited, but damn, Frame Gen kind of doo-doo. Darn it. You just make it Notepad Plus the default. Ugh. Took me a few tries. Set to true to stop frame generation from being enabled. Wow. Set to true to stop frame generation from being disabled. Stop it from being disabled, which would enable it if it's true. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I think just with resolution scale, I'll be able to get to 60 FPS. It'd be nice to not even do that, but we just have to get a Titanic rig of a video card. Alright, that looks cleaner. That looks cleaner. Looks pretty smooth. Good to go.
Time to move.
Hot topic possible. Should we be past the point of having new games ever being below 60 FPS for new games? I think there's always a case to be made for the type of game and the trade-off you get. Maybe this is what I needed frame gen for. I would prefer that everything be 60, but if there's like a locked frame rate that a designer figures they need for a specific game spec, and something about that game means it just wouldn't work at 60, like there's just tons of AI or calculations the game engine has to do to enable this game type, I can live with that. But usually, if it's just a question of visual effects, then yes, games should always have the ability to scale to 60, and I think it's pretty telling that people choose that most of the time.
Beast than man.
Why this is going, they won't need this new dominant of theirs. What?
Whoa!
To the gates! Quickly! Move!
What do you mean, you refuse? Did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
Smoking dank magic drugs.
Summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field. And
Oh yeah, I forgot about that huge guy.
our knights would only get
Big man. Full as hour. This is in 4K, but it's also got resolution scaling.
Ironblood now have their own dominance.
So it's not always 4K.
We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
4K on YouTube.
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed. And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which just leaves me.
Hoka!
The Iron Blood will rule the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
Kind of looks like the cutscenes are 30 FPS. Oh, Pop-Tart, you got a job. Nice.
Gaming.
Here comes the money. Here comes the buckets of cash.
you cock.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Benedictum.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion.
God, that chin.
You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
That's right, this is a grown-up video game for grown-ups. Maybe that was all pre-rendered. It's really interesting that it's hard to tell these
Lines
days.
are gone. This is our chance. The chaos will conceal us.
The Final Fantasy dream is real. In 7, they had to try to use a lot of match cuts between like static backdrops and opening frames of video. Have shifting perspectives of 3D characters in video at the same time. Now we get to see huge dudes making out with hot chicks. And it's seamless. Seamless video gaming. Evil Within 2 still does the best cutscene to gameplay direction I've seen from a video game. Man, Evil Within 2 looks bonkers. Steph played through Evil Within 1. I've started it a couple times. Same with Evil Within 2, just never got through the whole thing. But those games are pretty unhinged, huh?
Quick and deadly.
I'm hoping to play through both of them this October. Spooktober.
Take the van.
No way. Code Eras, the most viewed 16 channel right now. Yeah, I noticed this the first time around. On Twitch. People weren't that interested in watching this game. That's okay though. Evil Within 1 is gross, runs really badly on everything, and its gameplay design is massively flawed. Evil Within 2 fixes almost everything.
Finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
Fantastic.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Crystal.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I get a debugging fool. With a story-based game, it makes total sense that people wouldn't be interested in watching somebody else play it or experiencing it secondhand. I'm the same way. buttery out of nowhere.
You don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
It's kind of cool that you run around under a massive magic fight at the beginning. Try to make you feel smaller. Sadistic Diablo. I played through most of the game on PS5, but I didn't finish it. I didn't play any of the DLC, but I'm mostly familiar with it.
Anytime, Wyvern.
Anything over there? Oh. How does it run? Pretty well so far. I mean, a lot of the more intense sequences have been pre-rendered, so
Stand there.
playing videos quite well. This part's good, but pretty straightforward. A man in a cave. More of a crevice, I guess. Does it ever bother when you don't get to finish a story-based game like this?
Wyvern. Wyvern.
Final Fantasy not so much, because the endings are rarely conclusive or satisfying. Not usually what a Final Fantasy ending tries to do.
Told you before, you do not get to die here.
That does mean there's a final boss theme I haven't heard. Brother. Didn't do shit. Ran around. Got my shit fucked up. Yeah, the ending battles are worth doing. I'm gonna get there. And I'm gonna see it with the glory of PC.
Do you yield?
Eyebrows are so perfect.
Set out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your ass in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me.
My brother.
Right.
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Aww. Game feels off. I need a pro tag who shouts chaos more.
2 arms.
Dude, Final Fantasy Origin was legit. That's another game I've always been meaning to go back to and play through. Chaos. How many cutscenes are in Final Fantasy Origin?
Let's start again from the beginning.
Because I hope there's tons.
Show me your form.
I'm coming for you, Lord Commander.
Very good. Such swordsmanship will serve you well in the field. But can the same be said of your spellcraft? The flames of the Phoenix burn within you. Now let them burn without.
Raw!
Come, Clive. Rain fire down upon me. Excellent. Keep them coming. Well done. You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me, my lord.
Or would you rather I flattened you?
Nice.
Can be arranged.
You'd be streaming Tokyo Game Show this year.
My blade.
What's there to stream for it?
Your attacking prowess will.
I guess individual companies do presentations, but
On your
I've
turn.
never been to TGS before. I still haven't been to Gamescom. One of these days.
Not quite.
Oh.
Dodge that. Good. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable.
I love watching showcases and presentations and stuff. I just don't think they do that many for a Tokyo Game Show.
Apart from the rest. You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me.
Maybe we'll get some stuff this year. Who knows?
I'm waiting.
Usually, sometimes it's like a trailer or an announcement or something, but not a full showcase. Iconic feats. I want to smell those iconic feats. Like everybody else. Wow! It's magic, baby.
Impressive. But even the most agile shield cannot hope to escape every blow. And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall. Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished. Speaking of which, my lord, you seem a little worse for wear. Now that won't do at all.
Drinking potions, swinging swords, opening treasure chests.
Is a succession.
I haven't done that one yet, but soon.
Wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke.
What does Phoenix Down taste like?
Be ready to utilize every
Imagine it would make you cough, like tickle your throat.
Navigate a path to victory, or at the very least, to ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test. You've recovered from your soaking, I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
Nice.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rosfield. Spar with me. If you believe yourself worthy to be called Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
As you wish, my lord.
How that, me boy? Make proof of your strength.
All right, the will gauge.
Go on, you're sure to beat him this time.
Like, that's not dodge.
Just stay calm.
You're taking this seriously.
Keep going, Clive.
Nice try.
Ah, Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him staggered. Time to use a special ability.
It's time I took my own advice and used all the tools at my disposal. Come on.
Ah!
Go on, Clive. Keep pressing.
Just a little more. We believe in you.
You're a damnably quick learner, Lord Rosfield.
Not quite.
Sometimes two bros just get in a little fireball fight. Sometimes it happens.
Aye.
Rested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy of your father. You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise. Including me. What are you lot gawping at?
Ooh.
Idea drills.
Diaku. Thank you for the plot, the anime plot gif, and 2 anniversaries there, 24 months. Thank you very much.
Joshua, I was just tired. The Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why. You were coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
So sick, so fragile.
Just a cold.
Don't push yourself.
His Grace has returned!
Father's back.
Hey.
Your Grace,
Ava.
please. This is no place for one such as you. I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We live to serve.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Shut the fuck up. Eat shit and die. Love how they animated her lip tremble.
Your father will be expecting us.
She specifically turned her back on him.
Lord Murdoch?
Your Grace.
I'll remember you.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
Remember her name, Lily? Just hanging out, as usual. Luna? I feel like it's a 4-letter name that starts with an L. Jill, never mind. It was very L-centric, but it doesn't start with that. Good old Jill.
Rise, my friends.
Jill's the definition of ride or die.
Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust.
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to...
Yeah, we get to hear Ralph Ineson soon.
Is that so?
Quiet, Torgal. Stop it, boy. Not now.
You'll make a fine hound one day.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you.
I forgot about the lore button. It doesn't work yet, I don't think.
The capital rejoices at your safe return, Your Grace.
War is coming, my boy. We must make ready.
Is the situation truly so grave?
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Yes, Father. Your Grace.
Shields dismissed!
Torgal.
Torgal doesn't know about human cruelty.
Clive here is off to see the Archduke.
Right.
Does this game have maybe the most cutscenes ever? 11.5 hours of cutscenes in this game. Damn. I mean, if you count all the time in a traditional Final Fantasy when you're just kind of thumbing through text of characters talking, that's kind of cutscenes too, I think. Those have been replaced by cutscenes anyway. So I think a traditional Final Fantasy game or even a JRPG has about that much sitting there and reading.
Right you are.
Make sure all the crystals are accounted for.
The crystal.
Forgive me, my lord, but I need to finish inspecting these crystals.
I'm just up to my ears in crystals. Yep, that's a crystal. There's another one. Very good.
Phoenix will be with us. Those savages don't stand a chance.
What we got? Bread? I got some good bread right now, but it's already starting to get a little moldy, so I gotta eat it fast. It's like that speckly white mold that's kind of growing. Probably fine. Fine until it turns green, right? That's the rule that we all agree on? Yeah, pre-mold. It just looks like flour, but it is getting bigger, ever so slightly. There's already mold in bread. The yeast or whatever, that's bacteria, same thing. It's like yogurt. It's healthy for my gut biome.
They've closed the gates.
Let's hope the side entrance is still open.
No one is to enter the dungeons, including you, my lord.
Game and Death Stranding are competing for most cutscenes in a game. Death Stranding clocking in at 11.5 hours as well. Man.
Let's get this.
Death Stranding is art.
Before the Duchess calls for our heads. Right you are.
I definitely toast it, so it's fine. That's got to kill everything, right? I mean, I'm not even asking, I'm telling. A good minute or two in the toaster oven just zaps all that stuff dead. And then it's just extra nutrition. No! Forbidden knowledge. This is when Clive becomes woke. When he understands class disparity.
Forgive me, Lord Marquess, pray do not concern yourself with this bungling cur. Bow to him, you fool. But I say to speak.
It was no trouble. Really.
Oh, do not indulge him. To be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
Stand, please.
Wow. You're the people.
Stand. I trust his good fortune will continue.
Of course, if that is your lordship's wish.
Bowing again already?
Don't work too hard. Remember, It is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
As do we all, my lord.
As do we all.
I do remember,
Along now. Back to your duties.
not to get political, even though this game has pretty overt, obvious political aspects to it, but I remember everyone getting really pissed off that there weren't any people of color in this game. But imagine how complicated it would be to try to randomly dust people of color throughout the storyline and make sure that that didn't complicate or distract from the themes of like slavery, basically. You'd have to go out of your way to make sure you depict people of color on both sides to make it seem like it's not a factor.
I think someone's hungry.
And even then, people would like try their best to derive meaning from which characters are what.
I'm having my bearer filled well, my lord. Best to save what crystals we can, eh?
Wheat harvests down again, apparently. If this war ends up dragging on, we'll starve.
Fine display, my lord. Almost felt sorry for the Lord Commander.
How's the PC port of 16? It's pretty good so far. I'm having a nice time. For me, at least, resolution scaling has it at a pretty solid 60 FPS at 4K. Image quality is really nice so far. Oh, there's a demo. Yeah, free demo. Check it out.
Nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
It is pretty.
There's Joshua.
Marquis. Forgive my man, he'll be done in a jiffy. Just getting the place tidied up for the big procession.
Yeah. Dude is magicking up that shrub. What do you mean Final Fantasy never handles people of color well? You forgetting about Zaz?
You will put Joshua's comfort and safety before you.
Dude with a bird living in his afro?
Do you understand?
You must have forgotten about Zaz. He's actually a fun character. Like, I actually really like him, but... I'm really tired of devs using DLSS and upscalers as a crutch for unoptimized games. Just because they don't run at 60 FPS doesn't mean they're not optimized. But it is pretty weird if you can't turn the scaler off. That's when it's weird. You should always be able to run native. That's super strange. But, resolution scalers are the reason things like the Steam Deck can even work. So, I don't know. They're pretty...
Good luck.
It's a pretty great tech, and it has relatively few downsides. I don't see a reason why your 4080 couldn't run this at 4K. I mean, 4K, it can, but it's like 40 FPS or so, which I think is about right. Perhaps you don't truly appreciate how many pixels 4K is.
You commanded my
It's not twice 2K.
How may I
It's a square. 4K is an outrageous resolution.
Mother isn't here.
The 5000 series will probably be able to do that, maybe.
The territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the blight has taken
When
line of all
8K?
the northern reaches.
I don't know if we need it.
It is only a matter of time before it.
It'll probably happen.
By the flames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the...
Anyway, I apologize, CD Media.
Even if we were to send them south, to port...
Complaining about poor optimization is like... It's kind of a buzzy phrase these days.
Delay brings us closer to disaster.
And it's put on a lot of games
against the Iron Kingdom,
where I don't think it's necessarily... Like, any game that doesn't hit...
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time.
Let me think of how to say this.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the blessing of the...
It gives no acknowledgement that games might... A game might be more technically advanced than the hardware that's available.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
That's a silly thing to get hung up on, though.
Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
You will have heard the reports, I am sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Goblins in the Stillwind marshes. I know of the rumors.
Goblins!
Then
yeah, Callisto Protocol, Captain. Yes, Callisto Protocol was poorly optimized.
While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it, and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
UK is more than enough for my old eyes. I kind of agree. I think 4K really sings on text. Like it makes the UI really crisp.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
But for images like this, where like you can see maybe more resolution in people's hair, those things of really high contrast that are very far away. But other video that's like constantly moving or resolution scaled, you don't really see that.
Your Grace.
Like reach out and touch it crispness of imagery from moving images. Animated video game. There it is. Active time lore has been unlocked.
This war we mean to wage. It isn't only for control of the Mother Crystal.
The Mother Crystal. Enormous glassy mountains, 5 of which tower over the lands of Valisthea. They are the source of all the crystals that the people of the twins rely on in their everyday lives. Not only that, but the lands surrounding them are rich with ether, making the magics the crystals cast even more potent. For these reasons, great nations have sprung up around each mother crystal and have long warred with each other for possessions of their blessing. Lore.
All else.
So cool.
We cannot allow those Ironblood savages to gain a foothold on Storm.
I know. I would sooner die than see them darken our shores again. I wish you a safe journey tomorrow.
And I you, Clive. May your blade...
The dev says a game can't run at 60 FPS on console at launch and then later releases a 60 FPS patch. Does that mean it was not optimized? I'd say so, yeah. That means it was a matter of work and not necessarily a matter of practicality. Now that's typically the case a lot of the time. Yeah, it means they couldn't make it run at 60 FPS in their deadline. Couldn't fit it into the feature set. Oh. I mean, Starfield finally got patched up to 60 on a console. See, now that's a game that was unoptimized because that game didn't really do anything that games that have run at 60 FPS has. But I think that might be the difference, is I have a hawkish eye for games that use new graphics technology, and I'm very permissive for those. But if a game doesn't do anything gameplay-wise or graphic-wise that hasn't been done before, it ought to run at 60. It ought to run as good as its contemporaries. But I give a lot of credit to games that do try new things. Just taking a look at the PC version? Are you thinking of doing a whole replay? Or maybe waiting for some sort of hard mode mod for the base game? I'd like to replay it again. I guess we'll see. ton of games just came out though. So yeah, I'd like to check out the DLC. Maybe I kind of want to just play through it once just to unlock hard mode. Maybe I won't get distracted by things and just mainline the story.
How long will you be away this time?
Not long. 4 days, maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua?
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way! The boy is ill.
You think I don't know that? But the boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne.
Boy.
Keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Crystal.
Elwyn.
Don't worry. Clive will watch over him. Though he is a youth of but 15 years.
That fucking guy.
A fine soldier. He will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected.
Did one and then the other? There it is. Joshua. This is a really cool feature.
Elwyn. Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless. A man like any other.
As am I, my dear.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place.
Old Dookie Thomas.
You have not disgraced.
Thanks for the sub. Life is treating me very well.
Without men like Clive.
Hope the same for you.
Your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
She has to be evil, right? Yeah, she's pretty evil.
This is it then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
I'm a little old for that. I should get some sleep.
Right. You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him. He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive...
Why did we need to see their feet? I don't know.
I have another mission too.
Sometimes game cutscenes use similar shots that anime uses. And I know, well, it's my presumption that anime uses certain shots because you don't have to animate faces.
I shall just have to do it for you.
But I think that wraps back around and becomes part of the style. Used to sort of complete the image. Got tier tech. Soon your controller will cry. You can wipe tears from the trackpad.
Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
DualShock 6 with anime AI. You can see the fabric.
The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be alright, won't you, Clive? You're a shield of Rosaria after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
It's getting cold. We should go in.
The sour notes as he
My lady.
is unable to embrace her.
Good night, Clive.
My wife watched me play this game and said, wait, this game is just an edging love novel. Damn right. What we came for. Some romance. Used to go somewhere in this game. A little bit.
We won't be hunting today.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
Good luck!
Friends, we ride for Phoenix Gate. May the blessing of the crystals go with us
And shield the Firebird's flame forevermore!
His Grace departs! Open the gates!
Crystal. A crystal cracked. I still need to pull out that soundbite from the Dark Crystal narrator. Crystal.
Lord Rossfield, allow me. I shall see her safely to Phoenix Gate.
Thank you.
Seven Rebirth or 16? What did you enjoy more of?
We're ready to depart, my lord.
Yeah, that's a creepy face. I played more of 16 than of Rebirth. Rebirth was huge. The open world bloat bloat's a strong word, but stacks of open world stuff kind of turned me off a little bit. But I do want to go back and play it. I'm waiting for it to come out on PC as well.
We underestimate them at our peril.
Maybe next year?
Not today, we
I feel like Rebirth is probably the better game.
Sir Wade, Sir Tyler.
It's definitely the wider game.
Let us do our duty.
Man, is it huge. That game's ridiculous.
As you command.
Got more game in it.
And may the blessing of the crystals go with us.
Crystal. I gotta go beat up some gobos. Some Marlboros. Marlboros? Whatever they call them now. There was a time, not long ago, that the songs of civilization echoed through still wind's knotted boughs. Now the settlements lie abandoned, and the only sounds to escape this forsaken place are the howls of beasts that have fled the dead land to make the bogs their home. Dank. My initial hallway dungeon. Maybe there's a fork to the left or right that has a treasure chest at the end of it. Rebirth has a lot more charm than this does. That's true. It's got more goofs, it's got more mini games, it's got more like fun asides and character interactions.
Open for those goblins.
This falls a bit too far beyond 4 stage play feeling.
It's all swamps from here.
Yeah, 16 might be the grimmest, most self-serious Final Fantasy. Because even though 4 had a ton of melodrama, it was like so wacky that at some point, like, you just had to have fun with it. I want to play through 4 again, man. That soundtrack is so phenomenal.
Not exactly the most well-maintained path.
And who do you imagine would maintain it? They've all fled from the Blight.
What's weird is this game has moments that are so beyond bananas that it starts to lift the mood a little bit, but there aren't enough of them. The Titan fight is a high point. And if the game had more of that, more like fucking Dragon Ball Brawly fights, then it would like be a better counterbalance to all of the grim drama, I think. Yeah, the Bahamut fight's really good. If there were more moments that Clive and crew had to like do something really dumb, like the story forced them into snowboarding or something. That's tough though. I mean, part of the humor is going from a genocide to backflipping down a mountain, going through rings to get a better item. Yeah. I guess that's also why I wasn't super motivated to actually finish 16. It's because it felt like to me I had already hit the game's climax. Those are some good looking gobos. Oh shit!
Gaming.
It's 4:20! Perfect timing. After striking opponent with X, a magic explosion.
Many can't say they escaped the gallows. Most enters prison. I cannot say it, and I say it to the people in my college class, and all they do is prove people in college class can still be amateur checkers.
Then I lift. Didn't lift today. I was too excited to play Plucky Squire in Final Fantasy. Trading my gains for sweet video games. Gains for games. Maybe I'll work out later tonight. It's been really nice with the temperature in LA dropping. The fucking heat wave is over. The air is crisp. Dare I say autumnal? And a nice cool breeze, very energizing. Not even leg day. It's pull day, I think.
Welcome to
So we get some lat pull downs, some rows.
There's more.
I do get occasional frame drops, like 1 or 2. Loot! Loot is gathered automatically.
Stay down.
Oh yeah, God. Downed animation. Blech. Or Rosaria. Can't wait for 7 Remake to be done. Just want more new Final Fantasy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the good news is Square Enix as a company has slowly recognized Naoki Yoshida's ability to get games shipped. So, Lord knows the man only has so many hours in the day, but at least they're back to shipping games. Not working on Fabula Nova Crystallis for 7 years and only releasing one half-finished game. Isn't Square Enix struggling hard right now? I mean, Final Fantasy XIV has kind of kept them at least away from too much financial peril, I think. But as far as their, I haven't actually looked up any of their financial reports for a while. I couldn't say. I would be more worried about them again if they didn't have Final Fantasy XIV. Nothing keeps a company in business like steady, reliable revenue. Although who knows? Maybe after Endwalker it's done. Wait, Dawn Trail. It's done. Boo. Too woke for me. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. I kind of thought about Dawn Trail. Like if Dawn Trail were its own Final Fantasy game, story and all, it'd kind of be somewhere in the, maybe in the middle, lower third maybe. But I think it still fits with a lot of the themes and the experimentation. They did, I think they did abandon their games as service push. They got stung on that a little bit, which is, it's good that they walked away from that, I think, finally. They have their new CEO that kind of did a media tour. Also, I love that they have the 16-bit dudes down there. That's the best. That's the absolutely best. Nice.
Watch out, my lord. Some of their number are spell slings.
Spells?
We'll all have our
Ow.
here.
It's yet another 3D action game where dodge is on a different button.
Test of your skills, my lord.
Problem with 14 in general is when you're going through the MSQ, if you don't vibe with the story, there's very little active gameplay to keep the player engaged. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of been the problem with JRPGs. It's time was time. Like the actual gameplay is not great. It's mostly just the music aesthetic and vibes. And if that's not working on you, then what are you doing? You're just sitting there tapping a skill while it's on cooldown over and over again? That's it? Just smacking the button until the game moves forward? Pretty much. I don't fault anyone for not liking, Dawn Trail. Or for being less than enthused by it. I was kind of preparing myself for that, though, given that it wasn't a... It wasn't...
Should be nearing the old village square.
It was kind of a reboot.
Might not be a nest of goblins.
Start of a new story, different tone. It was kind of what I wanted. I just wanted something different. And I think it provided that. Now, was it different and as good as their other expansions? Not really, no. Although speaking of providing, I gotta use the restroom. Bathroom break. I'll be right back. Enough of that horny nonsense. We're here for Clive, damn it. Although, well, Final Fantasy VI had some magical energy commingling. I feel like 16 might be the Final Fantasy that gets the close to an actual depiction of penis and vag intercourse. It's still quite tasteful, depressingly tasteful. But it's amusing that most of the games tend to be sexless. They have romance, but they don't have sex.
We're trapped.
My lord.
Lord?
I'm working on it.
A lady?
He's the leader. But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
Mods for boning? Oh, I'm sure now that we're at 16. Dude, how cool, how classy was it of Yoshida to be like, can you guys just keep it in the pants, maybe? I don't know why, but I'm always a huge fan when, like, developers try somewhat in vain to ask for, ask for their audiences to not be porn lords.
And there was one.
Actually, hold on a minute. While we're looking at this wet imp. Yeah. 16 producer Naoki Yoshida asked the modders, please don't run amok with offensive or inappropriate shenanigans. Oh, man. Jacked up Aerith? What? Hell yeah, dude. Damn, a lot of these mods weren't there the last time I played Remake. Fuck yes. Out in a crop top. Perfect. Yeah, I think Captain, you were saying we need a Clive tramp stamp mod. We absolutely do. I see. If we say it'd be great if somebody made XYZ, it might come across as a request, so I'll avoid mentioning any specifics. The only thing I will say is we definitely don't want to say anything offensive or inappropriate, so please don't make or install anything like that. Jacked Aerith.
Shit! He's invited a friend! On your feet, Sir
Oh yeah, I forgot how much the boss theme fucking rips in this. It's got the Final Fantasy combat motif. Large enemies must be faced with caution. Use the Blessing of the Phoenix to not only deal considerable damage, but to break their wills. It's right bumper, not B.
Swing and a half.
Right bumper.
Be ready to move when it winds up for another. You don't have to tell me twice.
That's right, it stops at the half. Damn. I wasted my stagger. Forgot the button again. You can do one magic burst after every hit, right? That's right. Reducing an enemy's will stagger it. Extra damage is dealt when an enemy is fully staggered, increasing with each strike landed up to a maximum of 150. That's right. That's why I like doing the Titan Punch one, because it would stack up damage multiplier really hard. Yes, the tasty high-res frames. It doesn't, yeah, the frame rate doesn't, like, take a massive shit whenever you get a stagger, because all those effects fire off. I was used to that on PS5. Whoops. Such a classy way to do the end of the fight, too. Just that high-pitched tone kind of cutting through everything. Oh, yeah. The fucking stats screen in this game is so bananas. It shows you your strength going up, and then it shows you your attack going up, but your attack is just your weapon plus your strength. So it just shows you the same number twice, basically. Interestingly, this game... Final Fantasy games have always been rather deceptive, actually, in their RPG trappings. The number goes up, right? But... fake RPG? Most Final Fantasy games are fake. Like, every area you go to, you get experience in a given frame that ensures that your level is always at a specific tier. You can grind, but there's a point at which most players won't do that. So the goal is really just to drop experience on you as you're walking. That's one of the things 7 did pretty well, is it made sure that like you were kind of at the right level for every boss you got to. The actual game was doing the bosses when they had custom mechanics. So not hitting the scorpion when the tail is up, like having to see and react to those things. That's you actually thinking versus just attacking everything. Up until 7, I'd say it wasn't that way. Yeah, that's correct. There was more like party craft, equipment. Yeah, 7's also not great at it either. There's some weird road bumps in original 7. And it just kind of like, it all kind of just goes into the ether at the end of the game too. It gets really unfocused. Lost Odyssey, you can grind that one octopus thing on the beach. I don't remember that. It just means I need to play Lost Odyssey again. So anyway, I don't know. I think it was Final Fantasy VII actually, where I realized, oh, this isn't actually an RPG. Especially compared to something like Fallout, which is I finally played for the first time around that time. So I don't know. This game's so fascinating to me because it really does pare back a lot of the illusory aspects of what Final Fantasy typically is, and is just those things. But it went the other way. Like instead of getting more complicated and abandoning with pretense, it got less complicated and abandoned pretense.
There he is.
But still, I think that's awesome. I think that you can have experimentation like that in a mainline series. It's still active too. I know that there are a lot of like smaller franchises that rapidly iterate and release a lot of different games. But like a dragon. But I don't know. I was worried when, you know, around in the halcyon days of Xbox 360 and PS3, when the mega franchises were starting to get established. I wondered if that was the end of experimentation inside of a franchise. Like it can only be X, Y, or Z. People have expectations now. Assassin's Creed actually has changed a lot over the years. Although that's one of those things where they kind of try to follow the trends, as opposed to Final Fantasy, which seems like it's more genuinely inventive.
What's in there?
Man, those cutscenes look great.
Warble. It's not south. Keep clear of its maw, my lord. That thing's breath is worse than its bite.
Oops!
That reeks! I said stay away from its mouth!
Darn it. I need to dodge the other way. Or dodge it all.
Let me attend to your wounds.
Where's it going?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't know, back to the previous point though, it's kind of interesting because when I, especially like Final Fantasy VII and onward, when I started to realize the more linear nature of the games, on a replay of 7, I remember like realizing that even when you start to get vehicles, there's still only one place they let you go. There are areas where they allow you to not figure out where the progression point is sometimes, but there's only one. Like, there's no actual choice to be made. It's just how long does it take you to find out where you're supposed to go. I got a little depressed and then I realized, wait, that doesn't matter. Who cares? Games are an illusion in the first place, and if the illusion works, then the game worked, and that's as simple as it is. Swing! Yeah, it's eaten. It's. I don't think it's weird because I think there's a tendency to like be like, oh, the game's like lying to me, or it's pretending to be something it's not, I guess. But I think JRPGs weirdly have understood themselves for a lot longer than people give them credit for. I remember in my mind at least separating out that like Japanese RPGs are basically Dragon Quest. Like fundamentally, they still kind of are, where there's gameplay and then there's story, but the two exist in almost different spheres and different mediums, and they pair well, or they can. But there's not a real attempt or belief that gameplay should influence narrative. It should be an accent to it. Whereas Western games are more founded in something like Dungeons and Dragons, where you're a character of your own making and you experience the game world through the lens of like reactivity. You make decisions, you talk to people.
You won't be gone for long.
And combat is there. But the story layer is meant to be more fundamentally interactive. Cinematic evasion. When the screen flashes red during a pivotal moment in battle, press right bumper or the time runs out. The frame rate being super high in these sequences is so good. This looks great.
Now for the final push, my lord.
Is it higher than 60? Not for me, no. It might run it higher than that if I had like frame gen and scaling on. But for the sake of streaming, I found that I actually get the best image quality by locking my frame rate to 60 as well. Ugh, I should have paid attention to that. I tried for a long time to figure out how to have a frame rate like at 120 and capture at 60, but I could just never get the video capture results I was looking for. I don't think anyone really cares, but there really is a butteriness to unbroken 60 FPS that's quite nice. That's better than 120 with frame drops, I think. Yeah, 120 doesn't translate well for streaming. My hope was that my fever dream once upon a moon was that if I had my video output to my monitor locked at 120 and video capture for my stream locked at 60, that it would simply grab every other frame. But no, it doesn't work that way at all. Or rather, I never found it to work that way reliably. Some games would look pretty good, other ones would just not. Yeah. Strength went from 17 to 19. My attack went from 72 to 74. Very cool. How's the game so far? Worth picking up. Depends what kind of games you like. This is a fairly linear, cutscene heavy, story-based action RPG.
My lord. Thanks.
I don't know if that's your thing. I guess,
Never thought I'd see it.
I'm trying to think of points of comparison.
More
Oh, if you liked 15, yeah.
I'll petition His Grace to send a detachment.
I'd say this is, if you liked 15,
Don't stop them here. They'll be
this is pretty close. Hero action game with cutscenes, yeah. 15 was closer to that end of the spectrum. It wasn't very menu based.
We don't want to be caught out here after
Blinking all over the place is Noctis.
Now we can still reach Phoenix Gate before nightfall.
The port seems really solid so far. I haven't had any issues. Frame generation is a little smeary. There's a lot of artifacts. But it works.
Damned blight.
Damned blight. We're gonna stab that blight. We're gonna find that blight and stab it. Yeah, it is more dour than 15, even though 15 is pretty depressing at the end. If you can follow it. I mean, like, even just the imagery and music and setting get pretty bleak. And then it just explodes into a bunch of anime shouting. And a whole lot of lore that they just drop on you like a brick right at the end. And it's all pretty sad.
No, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. His lordship draws his sword. The goblin chief runs off screaming straight down a Marvel's gun.
I will say it's an interesting idea. Basically, like some dude having a. Is this spoilers? I mean, it's an old game, but like some dude having a millennia old grudge against your lineage, and that being your problem now. A neat idea. Not really explored much though. You don't really get much of Noctis's reactions to any of that I recall. I guess he was already a grizzled old man king by then. Welcome to monarchies in Europe? Yeah, I guess that is what it is. I read some fucked up shit. And now we're invading. The sins of the father. Sweet Modern Warfare mission. Yeah, I actually haven't played 15 since it got patched and updated and all DLC patched in and everything. I didn't play all the DLC either. I played a little bit of the co-op mode that they added, which I thought was pretty good. Interesting.
Just a little tired.
Well, it has been a long day.
I was curious about
They all like Clive, don't they?
what's his name?
Aye.
Blonde guy that casually mentions a bombshell about his character 3/4 of the way through the game and is never really referenced again. But he got his own prompto.
Father?
Thanks, right? Not the right one? Anyway,
Why is it that the
there's a whole DLC with him that I guess explains all that. I was curious about that.
doesn't seem fair?
Yeah, the blonde guy? Yeah. Dork.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals. And the crystals work their magic through us.
That's a pretty peak Final Fantasy 15 moment. When he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Just...
Joshua.
What was the bombshell? 15's old, right?
Wield the power of an icon.
He's a robot.
Family has been chosen to
He's like, hey, I just remembered I'm a robot. And then it's never really addressed.
we must do.
Noctis is like, huh? And then something explodes, and then the game just keeps going. Final Fantasy 15 rules. Argo Lefty, I did join the Mile High Club. Thank you for asking. I had to separate the VOD of that from playing all of Modern Warfare because it made it too long. After uploading a few 22 and 23-hour videos, YouTube suddenly told me that I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. And now it's 12 hours. Yeah, that was a fun challenge to take on. One that I definitely underestimated. It was interesting learning just the absolute minutia of how that game operates.
So much for you being a fine hound.
I mean, it's been a while since I've had to pay attention to the specific animations done by
What are you doing out
individual NPC enemies.
See you at the feast.
Feasts are the only time shields are allowed to take their ease, and I've never really been one.
What score do I give the Plucky Squire? I can't do that.
I don't like.
I haven't finished it. But it's extremely charming and wholesome and fun so far. Inventive. I haven't seen a whole lot of recycled ideas, which is kind of what I was curious about. Are they gonna just like come up with a particular mechanic and hit it a couple of times? But it's been really smooth sailing, a lot of interesting ideas, and the puzzles are getting more complex, which I wasn't expecting.
All the men were singing your praises.
Puzzles where there's not just like one thing that changes at a time and it's only an like a good or a bad state.
In the ranks, everyone thought I was a spoiled little lordling. If I didn't know how to handle a sword, I'd be a laughingstock. The Archduke's firstborn failure. You're the one they really believe in.
Think they'll ever try a live action Final Fantasy movie or TV series? Pretty sure they have both already.
That's not true. They don't believe in me.
There are multiple Final Fantasy movies. There was even one for 15. And there's a live action TV series, Daddy of Light. Not making this up. Yeah, and we have Spirits Within, so we're good.
I don't have what it takes to lead our people. I don't have the strength. But you do.
Every man has his duty. Ours was decided long ago, when our ancestors chose to instate the dominant as the Archduke of Rosaria. All to ensure that whenever our nation stood on a precipice,
Yeah, golf thing. I actually thought Twisted Metal was pretty fun. It was goofy. It was even like anime goofy sometimes.
Rosaria sits on the dominant shoulders.
That like sort of safe edgy, that's just a tiny bit. It's just got that right dash of cringe. 10% cringe, just enough to keep it interesting. But they went for stuff, and it was fun and wacky, and I kind of liked it. I only watched the first couple episodes, though.
No matter what.
Yeah, I haven't seen Spirits Within since I think the theater. What a magical day.
Thank you.
Spider-Man trailer.
You'll always take care of me.
That was the Twin Towers trailer. The one where Spider-Man like webs up a helicopter of goons between the World Trade Center.
Right?
Oh shit, I need to add that to MediaTek. I remember downloading that
It's past my bedtime.
after seeing Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. And I had to fucking install QuickTime. Because for some reason all trailers were distributed in Apple QuickTime back in the day. Oh yeah, I need to add the Advent Rising fight scenes. The one in the church is cool. The one in the... what's it called? City of the Ancients was pretty rad. The one where they're fighting Bahamut's pretty cool. There's a couple cool shots in that. The Seflings. That's such a great name. Operation Rude Boy. Thanks for the sub. Where was Spider-Man on 9/11? They did a comic of Spider-Man reacting to 9/11. I remember reading it. Yeah, that's the one where Doctor Doom cried, right? Some things even Doctor Doom won't do. Yeah. That's so sick. Yeah, there's a whole comic of Spider-Man trying to help people out of the rubble. Getting like buried and thinking he's gonna die.
It's a good job the North is full of enterprising traders keen to keep us in wine.
Oh!
What in the...
We got intrigue, folks. Should have added... well, we'll have to wait for 9/11 next year, I guess, but... should have added a little overlay of Doctor Doom crying.
Gateway secured, Captain.
I do need to add an overlay of PSSR. Just clip that out of the PS5 technical presentation. I love that animation so much. I don't know why. It's so cool. PSSR. PlayStation AI. Dude, look at the fabric. You could see the fabric. We got a crying Doom. Yeah, there he is. There it is. John Romita Jr. pencil. I think that was when J. Michael Straczynski was writing Spider-Man 2. JMS made Dr. Doom cry. Babylon 5's J. Michael Straczynski. Uh-oh. Whoops. God, I was tabbed out.
Prince, it's me, Wade. You probably don't remember me.
I remember. What is it?
We're under attack. I don't know who they are, but they've set light to half the castle. I must get you to safety, Your Highness.
Very well. I'm ready.
Follow me, Your Highness.
Oh. Have you ever played as a complete wiener in a Final Fantasy game? Actually, yes. That's happened multiple times.
The castle.
I'm afraid so.
Every Laguna section in Final Fantasy VIII. Remember when Laguna got a cramp? Trying to cool strut across the room to like walk up to a babe? Yeah, wheelchair class. Wait a minute. Wait. I don't know if I want to know or not. If Wheelchair Cloud is in Rebirth. I'm imagining the like 4K wheelchair that Cloud kind of rides around in.
What was that?
The moving spokes.
I have to help.
The reflections off the chrome handles.
Everything's on fire.
Fall back, Your Highness. He's not one of us.
No.
Yeah, I need to pick it back up. I mean, I'm such a fan of surrealistic sequences in games that Rebirth's gotta have some good shit. Damn, alright, that's sick. Man's got some fireballs. They gotta put it out on PC. And imagine how crisper all of those delusions would look. With the power of PC.
They were laughing.
This is Sambra Quagab. But why would the Empire...
I want to buy a PlayStation 7 Pro or whatever. I already spent $50,000 on a video card. I'm going to guess 7 Rebirth is the last Square Enix game where they have any kind of exclusivity nonsense going on. Yeah. Captain, it does seem like whatever Sony paid them wasn't worth it, which is great.
It's the boy. Take him. Damn it, the bastards are everywhere.
Why would the Empire do this?
These dorks are not worth much experience, are they? Why would they be doing this? Bought an ultra-wide OLED. Alan Wake 2 looks awesome. Ooh. That's cinematic. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even consider that whatever contract they signed might have been for 3 games. Damn, man. How much money could that have been? PSSR. I expect consoles to be phased out over the next 5 years, becoming a niche item. I don't think that's true. I think the idea of console exclusives or whatever ecosystem will probably start to fade. But I don't know. Sony's been too good. It has too many people on their services. I think for a lot of people, gaming is just synonymous with PlayStation.
Tyler.
As the ray tracing and super graphics, it's pretty great. Night Shot. I'd say so far the best thing that's really made my eyes tickle.
His wounds are deep.
I mean, the close-ups look really good. They're really high resolution, but the ability of the game to maintain 60 FPS through all of its battle effects and close-ups and time ramps and stuff, all the battle effects look really, really good.
You're going to be all right.
I'll hold them off.
Yeah.
Clive!
Joshua! Come here.
Go on PC.
Tyler.
Nintendo has earned the right to do whatever they want because their software output is so good.
Thanks to His Highness.
Onigiri Dork. I have played this game before. I have mostly finished it on PS5. Pretty sure I was right at the end, but I didn't actually finish it.
You rescued the young prince. Well done, Sir Wade.
I am in your debt, soldier.
Thank you, Your Grace. We cannot stay here. We should make straight for the rear gate.
Om ihr lost Alan, tu isam gelif. May the winds speed you to Rosalith.
Crystal Owl. What's more fantasy than a crystal owl?
The north gate's up ahead. There are chocobos in the stables. Father, take Joshua and get to safety.
No, I'm not going without you. You're supposed to be my shield, remember?
I remember, which is why I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
Crystal ball you could spin around in your hands? Ushigi?
Now go.
The magical mystery ball? Delight and mesmerize your friends?
I will do my duty. You must do your duty too.
I know.
You have to keep Father safe. I'm counting on you, Joshua.
Yeah. Your day's about to get a little bit worse. Jay Schwa. That's not suggestive imagery, is it? Ooh, COVID has progressed to chest pain. It's all bad. I'm sorry. Sorry you're getting rocked. Rocked by the Rona. 1 second. Need to check and see. We're gonna try to flip a quick ep on Battlefield today. So I'm checking to see its upload status, because once it's all uploaded, I got some I have some steps to undertake. Okay, I guess it's still uploading. Oh, it's almost done. Yeah. Tell you what, I'm going to take a quick break here because I'm going to upload and publish our Inside Games report on Battlefield, featuring a multi-step plan from Bruce about how to save the franchise. And if anyone knows, he does. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back. This may take about 10 minutes. I had done most of the work already. I made the thumbnail and everything, so it's just some clicking and uploading to do. But thank you very much for watching so far. This game's very smooth, very cool. I'll be right back. Hello everyone, I'm back. I'm back. You know what I just realized? There is another way to capture video. Do you think sending 4K 60 footage over NDI plugin would be more reliable than having a separate display in Windows going through an HDMI cord? I mean, it might be like digitally constrained to exactly the right refresh rate or something. I don't know. Anyway, the story's about to pop off. I'll have to experiment with that later. Because I think even this drops a frame or two. Like, it looks kind of stuttery. Hold on. Because the display window that I see can be different. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of little stutters and blips here and there. That's frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to experiment. Actually, kind of want to try it.
We're too late. Everyone's dead.
That's it. We're going to do an experiment live. I think. Yes, this does have NDI. Okay. Ah, so that's what you're going to see. Hold on. That's the like fourth monitor that Windows is extended to. I'm going to disconnect that. Get video through something else. Windows might also lose its mind. Oh, the game came back on the right monitor. It could also be OBS is not grabbing all the frames from the display. That might be the bigger thing. Now I wonder. Now I wonder. Payback looks, yeah. Still seeing a lot of hitching and stuttering. All right, well, it was worth an experiment. You're welcome for not interrupting Police Knots. Thank you for being patient with my experiments. My scientific experiments. It just seems like there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. But I guess not that way. I'm going to try one last thing. And leave it at this. No matter how it goes, this will be it. Don't worry, I'm not going to get distracted from gaming for too long. It does require me to quit the game though. I wonder if I have a theory. I feel like there's got to be a way to force it to like actually have a constrained, predictable frame rate. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe my capture hardware can't do it or something. Oh, that's right. There. Yeah. Sorry. Mercator projection of Angela Merkel jump scare. But let's be honest, shouldn't you have been expecting that? I think if it's limited to 60 and it's windowed borderless, it's probably V-synced anyway. Let's try this. Well, why has Battlefield been failing me since after Battlefield 1? Nothing has been as good. It's, I believe you, Pontius Pilate, and it does feel that way sometimes, but I feel like I've heard people say that about every Battlefield. It's always the one that's like 2 Battlefields ago. Although Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 were awesome when they worked. Man, remember when games worked? Is it weird that I have a fondness for just how outrageously broken those games were? Let's see. Sorry for the dizzies. That looks a little more consistent, actually. Well, let's see if it stays that way. It's, I feel like it's especially important in this game because frame rate is everything. That's the glory of PC. I mean, image quality is higher, but still. It looks so good on my monitor, so I want everyone to share the glory. Hot take, I miss just putting in a game and not having to download a day one patch. Yeah, that's pretty rare nowadays, huh? Nintendo games are kind of the only one. But even sometimes they have like a 1.01 or something.
Take them.
Let none escape.
As you command.
Maybe there's time to play through the
You take care of that spell cast.
Battlefield campaigns before whatever the... Wow! What the fuck? See, that's really fascinating. What was that all about? But I just like wanged around some of the display options, so maybe it has to do with that. It's V-Sync cloned out to 2 different displays, so like I feel like sometimes if the 2 outputs are not synced,
That's them done.
it just like doesn't know how to handle it.
I'm fine. It's my father and Joshua I'm worried about.
I think that's more me than the game, to be honest, because I'm dicking around with some display settings, but... Fucking legit.
Clive, look out!
May I have this?
See? Buttery, though. Hopefully it was buttery on the stream.
And you are the shield who was blessed by the Phoenix. Not that it will save you. Let's try.
He's yumping.
Stay still, damn you!
Yeah, this stuff looks so sick at 60 FPS.
Now, Clive, have at it!
You're going to regret that, boy.
Oh, I tried to dodge it. Tried to be fancy. Oop.
It's over to Sandbrag.
Yeah, that's true, Teton. Yeah, at the bitrate we're on at Twitch, there's a lot of this game that's just going to get lost in the fuzz. Alas. Hopefully I can put down some good capture for YouTube at least.
Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
So, they sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Not yet. Their numbers were too few. They were not here to take the castle. They were here to take heads. Our work is done. We should return to my father.
My lord, look. We issued these sashes but yesterday. In Rosalith. If they were already among us, what if there were others?
Father and Joshua are in danger.
We must hurry. Take your steed.
I wonder if there's an option to compress the audio a little bit.
What is that?
Dialogue's a little low for how loud the combat gets. I farted. Oh. In case you were curious, Final Fantasy difficulty does change a bit of the fights here and there. Ah. Like an extra phrase, a few extra callouts from the enemies or something.
Oh, you're all right. Thank goodness.
That's how it ought to be done. That's prime. Little trinkets of new gameplay for people that are willing to grind their balls in a vice.
For the moment. We ride for Rosalith to rally our forces.
Adds new ads in the general field combat, slightly different mechanics. Cool. Ludi McShooty, thanks for the sub. Is this one of them Final Fantasy games where the main character isn't actual the damn main character? No. The protagonist is pretty protagonential by the end of it.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but that won't be possible.
Oh no.
You honorless snakes!
Stay back! I'm warning you!
Run, Joshua, run! No! Hey.
Squelch.
Traitors! Your Highness!
You must do your duty too.
Yeah, Teton, I think it's the most main character. The most like single lead protagonist kind of game.
I had to. Clive,
I'm counting on you, Joshua. Oh, fuck.
Kill him! Now! Phoenix.
Oh!
Phoenix! Joshua! Lord Murdoch! His Highness! Joshua! Stop this! He's lost control! I have to do something! I have to save him!
No, my lord! Fall back!
Clive!
saved my life. Get her on her feet and run. Please. Joshua, are you in pain? Not now. Come on! You're his shield. Do your duty. Save him. My lord? What in the name of... Second icon of fire. That's impossible.
Possible or not, you're still just a pile of ash.
Who are you? Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Damn. Music's too good. Oh, you can actually aim? Terribly timed. I got it this time.
This cannot be.
Yeah, that stuff looks so cool. I'm just used to the frames always dropping there, so it's awesome to see it so smooth. Cinematic action. I guess that's also kind of since 7, really. Maybe, yeah, 7, I guess. 6 was more of an epic opera, but 7 certainly dialed up the cinema. And ever since then, I feel like Square Enix specifically, well, I guess it was Sakaguchi, I think, that was kind of been obsessed with using cinematic techniques in games. And then I think directing, he was the director on Spirits Within? Am I wrong about that? Yeah, it didn't have cinematic action, it had cinematic stuff. I feel like they couldn't quite do cinematic action apart from the summons and things like that. I look at 13 as their attempt to try to creatively reinterpret all the things that they liked about 7. And I think they even said as much, which is maybe why I think that. I think it just let them tell me that. But the crazy camera angles and stuff in fights in 13 when you're doing your auto attacks, it's shades of this, but not quite as specific and curated as the QTEs. But going back to the idea of what are the creative tentpoles of a Final Fantasy game, I think cinematic action is one of those that's certainly showed up a lot. I don't think it's ubiquitous. Yeah, that's pretty much the beginning, Skull. Well, I mean, this came out today, so... Unless I had time and magic. It's gonna be the beginning. Yeah, the Gooch directed Spirits Within. I think that cured him, actually. Because he had such an infatuation with cinematic techniques in games, I think. And then he made a film, and that was kind of the end of that. I am glad he's speaking as though he wants to make and produce more games, which is great. To some degree, I've always liked that about Final Fantasy. Almost its design is a series of contradictions. There's this big overreaching melodramatic anime plot, but then most of the game is you just kind of going through routine cutscenes. Oh, I got hit. Or sorry, not cutscenes, but routine combat scenarios. Doing fighting enemies that you fought a million times already. That won't realistically end the game or anything like that. Yeah, it's eaten right. Isn't where we're at now the best combination of, or the best possible outcome of things? You got so infatuated with Final Fantasy XIV and Yoshi P's production that he's invigorated to return to fantasy games making, or just games making in general. Ding. I think hopefully Fantasian doesn't just like evaporate the second it comes out. It's going to be a hard sell, I think. It's not immediately obvious what makes that game special. I think you do have to kind of speak directly to people that played Final Fantasy VII. And even then, 7 hits you with Midgar and how fucking cool Midgar is right off the top. Fantasian has pretty bonkers music off the top, but it's much more kind of anime esoteric at the beginning versus like cool 90s cyberpunk. I wonder if the backdrops will work for people. Because to me, a lot of the visual charm of that game comes from the photographed backdrops. I'm curious if that'll be something that catches people's eye. I think with Rebirth, the post-Midgar stuff's cool now too. I don't think I got properly to the meat of all that. I was still having a beach vacation in Rebirth, basically. Which is a fun way to start the game. Chomp.
No! Stop it! Take your hands off my brother!
Help me!
Really?
Help me, Clive!
Joshua! Stop it! Stop it! I swore I would protect him! Please! Please! Stop it! Murderer. I'll kill you! I'll fucking kill you!
Rough day. Damn, bad timing for Twitch ads too. Sorry about that. Oh.
Please.
Play the Seinfeld. I have that on my board right now.
Quite a mess that monster made. Damn shame about the Phoenix, but can't be helped.
It is pretty appropriate though.
Oh, my condolences, Your Grace. Is there aught we can do?
Haven't you done enough, Captain? Joshua was my world, and now he is gone. I can only pray there will be a place for me in the world his radiance seeks to create.
I see. Your Grace, over here. The rubble must have protected him from the worst of the flames. Shall we take him prisoner?
No need for that. Kill him. Wait. As my husband never tired of telling me, he is a fine
Like how her clothes are more evil now. Dutch angle?
Make an excellent addition to the Imperial front line. All in its right place.
Take this one. Chin up, lad. You're going to be a soldier.
Joshua.
Whoosh. Riley, what are you doing here? Get out of here, Riley. Come on. Riley loves title cards. Yeah, it's not Friday yet. I guess we're up to World War II, huh? Exciting.
Welcome back. Sorry. What's our situation? Let's just say Shiva and Titan's little spat hasn't made things any easier. And?
It's as you thought. The Crusaders have sounded the retreat.
Then we follow.
We're down a man, Sergeant.
If we return without Shiva's head, our fate will be no different from Biast's. I'll take my chances with the Iron Blood. At least then I might die fighting. After you do, that is.
Everyone's so friendly. Got all their eyeshadow on already? Yeah, this is another dog.
Not today.
Then it's settled. No dying.
Another equally
Now, if you don't mind, we have an
good video game dog. Ah, Badingle. Wink. Ah. I can get content. Points. My details. I wanted to check anything. No? Okay, that's it.
You can do this.
Did I not already have that, or does that just make it better? Oh, whatever. Shit, I should have bought that. I guess I lost the abilities that I had in the tutorial? Oh, it's just the counterattack. Never mind.
They don't. Only the girl holding its leash.
Let's see here. Didn't really care for 15, but I really liked 7 Remake. Would I like this one? Probably not as much. Probably not as much. 7 Remake was real good. I would say this is probably more on the 15 end of things.
All the old trails are gone. It'll be hell finding a way out.
I think that I'm saying that largely in terms of aesthetic. Yeah, I guess the gameplay's a little more action based because 7 still had a some amount of menuing and like using the right magic on the right enemies. This is more like kicking ass and hitting dodge at the right time, and then managing cooldowns and stuff. So I'd say combat wise, some aspects of it are closer to 15. Okay.
By the flames.
You think the combat in 16 is deeper, Teton? Nothing in the base game will actually stress you enough to explore that depth. Okay, that's true. Yeah, I definitely felt like I had my optimal abilities and the ability to dodge, and that's kind of all you need to win the game. There was a point where like there was nothing more I could do to play better. I was just doing my like bread and butter stuff and then dodging all the attacks, and that was pretty much it. You could play the whole game on PC? I'm not sure. I never know. I'm having a good time so far, and I enjoyed it the first time around. Look at how big that crystal is. Crystal. I thought Remake was pretty complicated, actually, with all the different abilities that different characters can have, and like it feels like you fight more enemies at once in 7 Remake, and those enemies have more debilitating abilities.
So,
yeah, Rebirth has even more stuff going on. Sheesh.
friends, where are the rest of them? That can't be the main host.
Wait.
I think I did. I definitely played more 7 Remake on higher difficulties than I ever played 16.
The dominant.
So that might be why.
Certain. The crystalline orthodox is a backwards faith for a backwards people. In the Iron Kingdom, they teach that dominants are unclean aberrations, born of blackest sin. Only their
blackest skin
allowed to perform the rites of priming, and I see many.
We end this quickly.
Yeah, one of these days, Rebirth will come to PC, and then I'll play it a lot.
Please.
Data must be idle.
What Alvation Naukin Alad Scully asked.
this be the end?
Avis, care to kill some iron blood?
Gladly.
Wife, you focus on the target.
Understood.
Such an old sounding squelch whenever you actually finish off an enemy. I guess that definitely makes it audible over pretty much everything else. That's scorch, squelch. You know what I mean. Can't fight Jill. BFF Jill.
Orders, Sergeant! Stop talking and move! Fucking icons. Icon? She's not even fully primed!
Not this time.
I will not have their blood on my hands.
Oh yeah. That is a fun fact, Lootbox. Diablo was supposed to be a turn-based roguelike. I think it was a bug or something. Like they accidentally set the turns to go automatic and they were like, wait a minute, this works. I don't remember the story behind that. Did you do something to have such good hair at your age? No, just luck.
At last.
I think that's it. Yeah, Clive is not great at recognizing his childhood best friend, is he? I mean, gamer genetics, that might be part of it though. I'm blessed enough to have a pretty low stress lifestyle. I don't have any kids. So yeah, luck, I think, is really it.
Is she dead?
I don't think so.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Unfortunately, like most things in this world, I try to not take it for granted because I think it does help me avoid acknowledging getting older.
No, that's...
It's happening though. Whether I see it in the mirror or not.
I'll bloody do it then.
Yeah, it's 15 years in the future and all. Oh, Jesus Christ. And also he's been through a lot. Fucking rad.
Fuck.
Got hit with a ballistic axe. Hypersonic axe attack.
We've got company, Wyvern.
Oh yeah, Michael. Final Fantasies have not been turn-based for a long time. Some of them you can sort of play them that way if you want to. 7 Remake can kind of be played that way, but yeah.
Sorry, Jill.
Sorry, Jill. There's a lot of whisper talking in this game.
What is wrong with you, Wyvern?
Dominant.
I know her. Know her. Look around you. Do you think any of these animals care? I need you here. Finished.
Now that that's done, I won't ask you again, Wyvern. Take her head so we can be done with this.
I can't. I won't.
You would betray the Holy Empire?
Betray? I don't recall ever pledging allegiance to your Emperor. My service may have been bought with this brand.
Might give this a go, Michael? Yeah? Well, it's out on Steam now.
I just fight to survive.
I think it's a real quality game.
You think I don't?
A lot of glitz and glamour.
Empire will have our heads and we return empty-handed. So if you won't take hers, I'll have to take yours.
I told you, Sergeant. I'm not dying here today. And neither is she.
Let's find out. Wyvern! Have you forgotten who plucked you from the front lines? Who trained you? Who gave you a name when you had none?
You speak as if we don't bear the same brand, Sergeant. I've always had a name, and I've not forgotten it.
Still clinging to the past like a torn blanket. Then you will die, as you should have 13 years ago. For nothing. No one. And I will not fall by your hand.
Ruin. Oh, he's got combos.
By a traitor's blade.
Oh, we needed more time? Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a lot of time spent on a lot of other things in this game, though. So, it's tough. Yeah, it would be not. I guess it would have been in a very Conan the Barbarian way. If you want to, like, get the full, rich, complete, horrific story, follow Clive's exploits and servitude, and show his sort of forced relationship with this guy, but yeah, it's a trade-off. I don't know. The game has a lot of story already and spends a lot of time in a lot of places, so I do think that the pacing at the intro of 16 is, I mean, it's hard to find a place to stop. I'll say that. Been going for almost 3 hours now, and it's just been like a lot of good human drama that's easy to follow, if that makes sense. Because that's not always how Final Fantasies are. Sometimes they wallop you with a bunch of lore and magic babble off the top, a lot of proper noun vomit. I'm thinking of 13, really. 12's intro was really slow. I agree, though. It's like, it's a cool idea, and the lines about, you know, plucking him off the front lines and training him and stuff, it gives you the hint of the backstory, but that's all it's intended to do, you know. Just to acknowledge that they had a past. Here's our guy.
This way.
I bet he smells spicy, but in a good way, like spices. Like a leather pouch filled with herbs and dried fruits. Yeah. Did you get in that thing?
Hugo, dear.
Are there laces in the back?
Proud desert lion. Would that you had taken care when chasing the hare?
No.
I expected more from the mighty Titan.
No. She's got to crawl in through the neck, and that's it.
We put the Ice Queen on her back. No doubt. But you'll have to work harder if you're to claim this prize.
I like how her upper lip looks a little Botoxy.
My lady, the thunder.
We'll be hearing more soon enough. You always were a fucking snake, Sid.
Oh, negative reviews on Steam are bitching about Denuvo?
We have work to do.
Never noticed it affecting a game, just that people blame it when a game isn't optimized well. Yeah, optimization, I don't know, I've whined about this enough, I guess, but it is a pretty common video games boogeyman. And honestly, like for the past 10 years, the PC scene has seen a lot of hand-wringing over tech that people don't actually understand. That said, it can affect performance, but I don't know, I've read testing that shows its effect as being extremely minimal, but it's there.
And who's this fine hound I see before me?
A fine hound who saved your life. That's it.
I don't know. People are going to be mad about what they're going to be mad about, I guess. And if people are having poor performance, then what they blame it on doesn't necessarily matter if they're not seeing the results they want.
Well then, you won't mind taking him off my hands.
It's running pretty well for me. Resolution scaling I can see some effects of, but it looks pretty clean. Frame generation, however, is not doo-doo. Frame generation looked terrible.
Come now. Fleet as flame, fierce as a wildfire. That there was the blessing of the Phoenix.
Yeah, I got a beefier setup than most folks, but this is a beefy game.
That you'd survived. But I never paid them much heed. Calm down. I didn't come all this way for your handsome mug. Now her, on the other hand, she seemed worth muddying my boots for.
Wonder if there's any reliable market data that shows de novo equals better sales? It's been debated for decades. Truly. Any kind of DRM.
Still, might be best to
Consumers swear up and down it doesn't affect anything and that... Oh, I love this guy. Enchantment. This is the best.
I mean it.
Well, I'm not about to leave her here. Not one with a warm bed waiting. It's all right.
The problem is, like, without the ability to step into another reality and do like a rigid A/B test,
You do want to help her, don't you?
there's not really any data. I mean, the fact that Good Old Games is able to operate in the open and sell AAA games without any DRM is some implication that you can turn a profit in computer software without trying to lock everything down.
Once we're back at the hideaway. Come on.
It slows down the crack, which forces people to buy. So yeah, Loofbox, that's the idea. Is that for people that are excited for a product, you reduce the friction to them buying, and you also like kind of make the free option harder to get to. And you hope that they're excited enough and hyped enough for something that they're just like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. How much that changes, like how many sales that actually is, I don't know how you'd ever find out, you know? Unless you had two very very similar situations, and one had restrictive DRM and one did not. And maybe if you compared the sales data over the course of days or weeks, or if like the second a crack hits for a game, your sales just fall off. Like that would be a rough correlation and something you could use to say like, oh, well, clearly this had an impact. But even then, it's all just, you know, correlation. So yeah, people have, like I said, people have debated that very topic for a long time. Unfortunately, despite the debates and people insisting it is one way or the other, private companies have access to the most data about their own games, and they also have the rights to decide how to release their games.
The blight sucked this place dry.
I tend to think if
Trees, no birds.
like something costs them money,
But it also means no neighbors.
I don't think companies often make decisions out of ego. You know, it's not like they don't just get pissed off that somebody might be stealing their game. I have to assume at this point, if they're still using this tech, that they judge that it earns them more money. Why would they go to the trouble if it didn't matter, you know?
Sweet home.
I'm sure there's some conspiracy theory explaining that too. But that's kind of where the logical train ends for me. And there are even companies that patch de novo out after whatever window of sales ends. I'm guessing it's like 6 to 9 months when de novo's been, got removed from Jedi Survivor recently. Which is a fucking dope move, by the way. That needs to be celebrated more. Yeah. When companies spend the time to come back after the fact and remove DRM just so it's not a problem 10 years down the road. That's cool.
This place. These are fallen ruins.
Well, we didn't think they'd mind. And it keeps the black from our lungs.
Oh, hello, Norik. All is very well.
How does anyone? Hard work and a bit of nerve. You must be starving. We grow them here, believe it or not. Suit yourself.
You're back.
Ah, saw you.
And this
Tons of people reported 10 to 15 FPS increase. I also saw somebody that got 1 FPS increase. Oh, I don't know.
All right. Goots, get her up.
Yeah, good old Goots.
But none will. Don't fret about Karen. I've taken care of her fee.
And I don't know. Like I said, I've seen benchmarks and stuff that don't point to de novo making that huge of an impact, even though it is measurable.
Go. Have a look around. I'll be in my solar.
Now, I do acknowledge it's kind of galling to spend money on hardware and even money on the electricity and have a portion of that get used up for something that doesn't affect performance or the game itself. That is kind of the definition of unoptimized. I don't know how conspiracy this sounds, but I'm sure the people making the decisions are also getting hit with intense marketing speak from the DRM companies themselves, and I would expect the higher-ups, decision makers to be more susceptible to buy that stuff. Well, then yeah, I guess they've got some really good salespeople at de novo. But even then, I mean, you've seen how game companies are, laying off hundreds of people. If there's a cost that they could look into themselves and be like, can we make this? Or is it cheaper just to not use it? I feel like that probably would have happened by now. But yeah, who knows? Maybe de novo's got a hell of a PowerPoint. But if they do, then it's, you know, human beings are the ones making the games. If they get hitched on some software and they say yes, still kind of just part of the process. Oh, Resident Evil 8 made it run better? I should do some reading to see. Oh, I love this dude. The lore master. I should do some reading up on de novo because I actually don't know the nuts and bolts of how it operates. It would be fun to get some kind of concept of how it could interrupt or how it does consume system resources.
I'm no man's tool, and neither are you. You're right. None of us are.
He's not out chasing rumors. Sits up there in that hole of his, breathing and scheming.
Hey, references.
When lightning struck, his yoke did break, his life his own again. With thunder's roll, he
Run sections of code in a virtual environment tied to your hardware in your specific PC.
Well, what do you think? I woke this morn inspired.
Has to emulate the game inside the game. Yeah, I'm curious how it links that to authentication. And how often it does that, I guess.
Just working on a pet project of mine. Though she's not above biting the hand that feeds her.
I'm curious why it needs to do that. To authenticate your software. It's pretty straightforward.
Right.
I'm just basically the idea is you need like you need something that links your software license to play the game to something that can't be imitated or changed, and that is like the metal in your PC.
The dominant's throat in the chaos.
And that's typically like using some aspect of that real world hardware signature.
And so to save her,
is how you authenticate the game to run.
Sergeants, then set your sights on the hills, conveniently forgetting how the
And
deals with deserters. With
you have to do routine checks because if there's only one check, that's pretty easy to circumvent.
You've fallen along.
But Intel hardware has virtualization hardware on the chip, so it shouldn't affect game performance that much. But if it is doing virtualization, I could see how that, like, that's the sort of thing where the hardware or the performance hit would be vastly different depending on the build of the PC.
I'll not have it said that I'm a poor host.
What do you mean to do with her?
Do with her? Why, nothing. Her life is her own now. If I wanted to use her, do you think I'd be talking to you? All I want to do is help. Dominants like her, branded like you. Of course, the realm doesn't approve, which is why we live in a cave.
Oh, they don't need to emulate the game inside the game to create a signature? Yeah, I'm just theorizing.
From branded who know one end of a sword from the other.
I guess, what is it?
What say you, Clark?
Anti-cheat is sort of the same thing. A form of rights management, I guess. I think there was some breakthrough on Linux of like some kind of anti-cheat software that doesn't have to reside at the kernel level, which people like. I get like operating system dorks and open source dweebs caring about that sort of thing. But man, when gamers start going off about how they have to protect their kernel, I'm just come on.
Phoenix's evil twin.
Maybe everyone out there is like going through all the services running on their Windows machine and making sure only the ones they recognize are running at any time to make sure that their kernel is secure. But I'm just like, no, they're not, dude. They're not.
Filth. Junk from a gutter. Killed more men than I can count. You're right. The Empire.
Yeah, it's another bookie, man. I mean, I get the emotional reaction.
Will be my best opportunity. My last.
It's a pretty easy thing to explain and also to sound like it's violating your rights. And to a degree it is.
I told you I'm not
interested, I know.
But you don't even, like, most PC users don't even know what a kernel is.
One of my scouts sent word there's a group of branded fugitives north of here.
Not that they should, or not that they need to. That's the beauty of user-friendly software. Oh crap.
Is he certain?
His voice sounds like a campfire.
What say we go and ask him?
This doesn't mean I'm joining you.
Let's make ready then. You'll find everything you need down in the main hall. There's well as a few things you don't. Have fun.
And I like The Green Knight. That was a fun movie.
He's in... Oh no.
My man's is already whimpering.
Perhaps you can help. Sid asked me to make ready for our mission. How does one go about that here?
Well, there's old Nan's place. On second thoughts, you maybe want to see Blackthorn first.
A blacksmith. To the forge it is then.
Ah.
Oh wait, no, hold up. You'll be needing this.
Eden, thanks for the sub.
Blackthorn won't take no notice of you otherwise. Might not anyway.
How'd the Beck concert go? Oh, it was great. Turns out Beck's getting really into Brazilian music, so he played a fair number of like jazzy bossa nova tracks. He had a couple of heaters on the track list, but the rest of it was just kind of spent in weird Beck land, where he's kind of playing this weird, easy listening, jazzy, proggy stuff. I'm into it. It was awesome. And also, is this a first playthrough? It is not, for the most part.
Are you Blackthorn?
What if I am? I've no time for idle chatter.
I'm not here to talk. I'll be accompanying Sid to Lostwing, and I need you to see to my equipment.
You could be accompanying
Really?
Krieger to
No, I didn't see any. I didn't see any Scientologists around.
a finger for you.
Is that so?
A noisome spirit better suited to stripping oil from a painter's canvas than consumption. Grants overworked conscripts a few rare moments of sweet oblivion on their long, arduous sea journeys north from the continent.
Do you want that or not? I can take it back.
Damn you, Goots. All right. No need to be hasty. Let's have a look at you. I doubt that lot could stay a Moogle's fart. Bloody Imperials. They'd rather see their bearers dead than kitted out properly. I'll do what I can, as a favor to Goot's mind.
You're done at a blacksmith.
And the belt, Caesar Square. You want anything else, you bring your own materials.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you.
It's kind of interesting that
A word of advice. Don't let Sid...
what I was rambling about before with the game sort of paring back a lot of the illusory RPG aspects of a typical Final Fantasy. Some of them are still there, but to the point where it almost makes you question why. I mean, going to the smithy and using upgrade items to get better gear is cool, I guess. But largely, they just give you the items at story events, so you can't... It's not like you can go out and target anything. I guess you can do some of the hunts to get some items, to get some gear before you would get it normally. That's kind of how that ended up working out.
Let me share a word of warning. Keep your hands out of the stores, or I'll cut them off and crate them with the others. I'm only teasing.
But that's when you just go back to, well, it feels good to equip better stuff. Oh, huh. 16 was supposed to have 2 modes originally, one catering to traditional turn-based JRPG fans. That's interesting. How long ago did they talk about that? Given the way this game turned out, I could definitely see them wanting to include some sort of throwback play mode. But I could also see them just scrapping it at some point. Like, it probably had like a good prototype, but they found that it just didn't hold up over the course of the game or something. I don't know. Interesting to think about.
Word is, the scouts found a pair of new bearers willing to join us.
Oh, more names for Otto's ledger.
We've seen Blink twice. No.
Sid, Bud's told me.
What's the idea? What's the idea behind it? I did see that Scott Adkins is in a new film on the Hi-Ya network, so I have to renew my,
All she needs is a little reminding.
gotta renew my subscription. Also, it occurred to me that I've never seen My Lucky Stars, so I'm gonna watch that real soon. I should just go through and watch all the movies that Sammo Hung directed. Wonder if there's wonder if there's a solitary place to find all that.
But you're a free man now.
Leave me be.
Oh, that was Yoshi P saying he knows traditional turn-based JRPG folks weren't going to be happy with the game, so those accessories were put in to allow the gameplay to just be skipped. Huh. Watch the first 3 episodes of Dan to Dan in theaters. That's an anime you'll have to look out for in the next month. I saw the poster for that. It looked kind of interesting.
You another one of Sid's strays? What? We all are. Little uns, big uns, and everything in between. We're a damn sight better off here
Oh.
out there in the world.
The arduous task of going to Google to look up that thing you remember. Man, this does look really nice. 'Cause I remember even this environment didn't run super smoothly. Oh. I don't care. Now you're making me click on things because you're disagreeing with someone else in chat. That's dumb. Let's see here. So, I don't know. Nothing in here is saying that it was supposed to have that. Wait, hold on. Thought about the expected sales of 16 and the impact we have to deliver. I said it was okay if the development team would explore new options and the system would only be half finished. As a result, it would be remade many times. It's possible the next Final Fantasy may also utilize a command system again or be an open world game. If we were to develop it, 16 will be like this. That's different than what you said, though. That's different. That's different. You made a leap. You made an assumption and misattributed a statement.
It worked.
My thanks.
Come on, nearly there.
Here's the thing, I don't care. Don't at me with another link. What you can do is copy and paste a quote from Yoshi P where he said, Final Fantasy 16 was originally going to have a turn-based mode and we decided to scrap it. Or a quote from Yoshi P saying, Final Fantasy 16 will have a turn-based mode.
Right, we make him comfortable while a bed's made up. Well, you just got
Forspoken Kid's gone? No, it's not. Hold on. Hold on, sorry, this is important.
Needs out.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I don't think I have a button for it, but it's still around on my machine somewhere. Hold for Forspoken Kid. Hidden. A little comfy. Actually, comfy works for 16. The Dancing Quake Man. Oh no! In my hubris, I never saved it. Now I'm worried. Surely I saved it. Let's see. I have to have saved it. Oh, thank God. Oh. It's the perfect picture. Oh man. Oh, thank God. Character looks like they fell out of Fable, kinda. Oh man. One of these days I'm gonna get back to Forspoken, I swear to God.
Wait, me?
Good stuff. It's good to laugh again. This is the power of video games. Yeah, that was the video game with Cuff.
Are we safe?
Snooty British guy who would just really razz. What's her name? Frey? Frey. Not Freya, Frey.
What's all the commotion? Do you think we should go and help? It's like we've got some...
Everybody's belly aching about no new IPs, and here's Forspoken. Yeah, I plan to go back and play Forspoken again. If Forspoken had come out on the PS3,
Who are they?
people would have liked it.
They're free to...
But it's not 2008.
Who the hell are you? Shit, at this rate, he won't make it through the night. Think you can find your way up them stairs to the infirmary? We need Tyre. Well, go on. Shift your ass.
Well, thank you, Chef Blade.
Was Ty the one looking after Jill?
We're just gaming and having a laugh. Enjoying Forspoken.
Your friend needs her...
Blink Twice is a psychological thriller about a couple of broke waitresses who lie their way into a party to meet a billionaire and get whisked away to a super weird island.
You're wanted downstairs.
Solid 100 minutes of tension, and Channing Tatum legit gives the best performance of his career. Awesome.
I did say so.
I do like Channing. I feel like Tatum's got a lot to give. You're reminding me I want to watch Hail Caesar again. That's one of those movies where when I ended it, I was like, well, I'm probably never going to watch that again. And I've been thinking about it more and more lately. I don't know what Coen movies have that effect.
He's going to be all right. But I'll need to examine them both in the infirmary. My work's just begun.
If. Never forget that Channing Tatum was in the best movie ever, Jupiter Ascending. Okay, hold on. People enjoying cinema, laughing.
Another fine day at the Hideaway.
I did 4 shots before I walked into the theater and had one of the best cinematic experiences of my life.
Casting off your chains.
No joke. I just like down 2 doubles and then I took a drink in.
Too far gone. These two here are the lucky ones.
And they I was like peak fucked up when the space wedding was happening. So it was just like, oh man, you couldn't ask for a better experience.
Some supplies.
Do you now? Then Lady Karen over there will be more than happy to help you.
The only slightly better cinematic experience I had was XXX3. Where I had an edible so strong I got a little freaked out halfway through the movie. But it was still it was still amazing all the way through.
Consider yourself welcome. You helped us today, and we won't forget it.
To be honest, XXX3, I was starting to lose it. I was like, this isn't great. I'm not feeling good. But then there was that part where they do the BMX tricks on the jet skis underwater. And I was like, never mind, I'm back in. This is cool. So his sick underwater BMX skills actually got me back into the movie and got me back on board. Yes. Everyone loves Speed Racer. Speed Racer is probably the most genuine and lovable of their films. Kind of reminds me of Kung Fu Hustle. You kind of have to be a robot to not have this work on you. But also, I definitely get if the editing is too much for people. I'm kind of a visual maximalist, so Speed Racer's completely my shit.
I
But
need supplies for my journey to Lost Wing. Otto said you could provide them.
What's weird is I like Speed Racer, but I couldn't stand Across the Spider-Verse. And I feel like they're kind of both visually noisy.
It's Clive.
Well, Clive, I hear that dog is yours. Since he followed Sid home one night, I've seen to it that his chin's rubbed and his belly fed. Though I suppose that's your job now.
I saw Triple X3 in an empty theater, and the whole time my friends just yelled, "It's Diesel time," whenever he was doing cool shit. Would recommend. Fantastic. Diesel time.
What?
It's the Xander zone.
Think I'd shower your lordship with my hard-won wares while you swagger about with a pocket full of gil? Life doesn't work that way, lad. Now, let's see some coin.
Diesel time. Valishthea? I just upgraded my shit and they're already giving me better stuff. That's fucked up. Fucked up though.
It'd better all be here. No discounts. Not even for you.
There's no reason to keep old weapons in this game, right? Like there's no mysterious end level upgrade. That requires you to have everything. Yeah. Get out of here.
I'll be thankful you got that much. I reckon I can find a buyer.
That's all.
Why, you've barely a guilty name. You taking this?
Oh yeah, the icon weapons. They keep feeding into themselves. That's true. I don't know if you're allowed to sell those.
All right. All right, I can make an exception.
I did see Bringing Out the Dead. I saw it back in 2000. So it's been a while since I've watched it, but
My stores are getting cluttered and I need to make room for the next shipment.
Scorsese all coked up.
Thank you.
Thank me? Thank your dog.
I will. Thank you, Torgal. Best boy. Retrieve sack. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Virtue. Oh yeah, the pygmy hippo. What's its name? Like a baby pygmy hippo. It's all squishy. Captured the internet's fancy for a while.
Leaving already, are ya?
Moo dang. All right.
Most, Lady Karen. It always is.
Best movie of the year 2000 was definitely Titan AE. I'm pretty sure Mission Impossible 2 came out that year. Man, that was the last good year. Pitch Black. Ah, there it is. Forgot about the soon-to-be Riddick vehicle, Pitch Black.
Do you think we should go and help?
It sounds
Don't think I have... Ah, a new face.
Did I wait until I'm on Final Fantasy mode to do all these side quests? Or does it remember that you've done the side quests?
Mistress, and we are too few to keep her on her feet. Might I persuade
Battlefield Earth? Oh man.
to souls in need of sustenance?
Speaking of Scientology. Hey, how many people in chat converted to Scientology after they watched Battlefield Earth?
I don't see why not.
Marvelous. And who exactly do I have
Anybody?
the honor of addressing?
Clive.
Delighted to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a 25th anniversary 4K release. Actually, there's probably some place out there that's done a 4K issue. Wait, have they?
Customers are waiting their victuals. Take
That's kind of a thing now.
Be careful.
People scooping up old shitty cult movies and releasing 4K versions.
Oh, meal. How long has it been?
Yeah, Shout Factory. What is it? Vinegar Syndrome?
Yeah.
Did one that I picked up recently.
Oh, my thanks. I hope you do not think me lazy for waiting to be served like a lord. Only my former master did not use me kindly, you see. He left me half lame, truth be told. But Sid took me in nonetheless.
Oh yeah, Diabolic.
The hideaway is the home I never knew. And a mighty fine one at
Is coming to 4K. Showgirls is what they released in 4K. But I recently on a whim watched I think I talked about it. It was an international Man of Mystery kind of movie called Diabolic, but that's coming to 4K Blu-ray now. If mode lets you make better accessories if you already have a copy from the base game, a number of which are available from side quests. However, if you clear all of the special icon trial things in Final Fantasy mode and then progress the story to near the end, you can just buy every possible accessory from vendors, although this can be incredibly expensive to rely on. Okay. All right.
Thanks for my trouble.
And so he should.
16's not the kind of game to worry about that
Well met, lad.
too much, it seems.
A good work.
The Iron Blood were quick to sound the retreat once Titan turned up.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of cute get it now or lose it kind of gadgets. Wait, what? They made a Showgirls 2? No way. I had no idea.
Your food.
Damn, I gotta find that.
Just a moment.
I have seen American Psycho 2, and that was terrible. Speaking of Jupiter Ascending Star Mila Kunis.
If I can master this.
All right, but
I've never seen a movie that tried to target college students more than American Psycho 2.
Thank you.
Well, I haven't seen Boondock Saints 2.
better let Kenneth know.
All done, I presume? Splendid.
Showgirls 2 has a solid 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not slaves waiting.
The world wasn't ready for Showgirls, which I still maintain is I don't want to say great, but it is every bit the snarky, subversive, goofy, overblown movie that Total Recall and RoboCop are. It's RoboCop, but instead of a super cop, it's a woman who is
First hot meal here.
so impossibly sexy. She's the chosen one.
We are free.
But instead of shooting dudes in robot armor, she has ridiculous titties.
More than reason enough to trust in Sid's
It's very Verhoeven, yeah. I mean, in the way that Verhoeven's lens acknowledges sex, but it's somehow not disgustingly male.
My strongbox are yours to do with as you will.
There's the equal opportunity camera shots and or the shower shots and excuse me, Starship Troopers. Those scenes are really interesting because the camera doesn't necessarily fixate on the bodies of the people showering, nor do the people showering even acknowledge it. And he does a lot of that with Showgirls as well. Sex is in it, of course, but we're not meant to be titillated by any of it. if anything, it's a joke that anyone is in the movie, and that's the like Verhoeven comedy that I love.
It sounds like Otto has everything under control. As always.
Whenever what's her name is just like having a full-on spasm attack in the pool, and that's meant to be the like tender scene, but really it just shows that like there's no actual human intimacy there. Yeah, commercial sex, the least sexy thing there is, exactly. The commodification of sex. And even the camera commodifies it like that.
Perfect timing. I couldn't persuade you to fetch me some timber, could I?
I'd be happy to. And he did not do these.
Be happy to.
The resignation in his voice. Might as well just like, it's going to be difficult to break this habit though, of doing all this side stuff.
We can manage if I'm honest.
It certainly looks like you've got your hands full.
Boondock Saints 2 is so disappointing, but I traveled 30 miles to go see it in the middle of Midwestern early spring. Ooh.
That's why the walls need shoring up. Can't have the vegetable patch crushed
Man.
before our first harvest now.
All the phenom movies of 2000s where the directors flopped hard after that. Donnie Darko guy went on to do Southland Tales, and apparently that's a mess, but I haven't seen Southland Tales yet. I gotta check that out.
Thanks again.
I've seen the first Jarhead slashed thighs. Fine, I'll do this one and that's it. No more side quests. But the hunky man needs his I almost said beef. Needs his wood. Right now I'm working through the Blood Fist movies because there's like 8 of them.
Excuse me. The man working over by the garden sent me to fetch some wood.
Ah, that'll be Jeffrey, the master carpenter.
Joffrey.
Luck would have it, we've just finished cutting the timber he's after.
Jeff.
You take as much as you need from the stack.
That's right, Don Wilson. I'm a simple man. I see Don Wilson, I watch the movie. Maybe I should watch all of Don the Dragon Wilson's filmography. I imagine some of those would actually be pretty challenging to track down, and also might have 4 different titles. I am exactly at my cinematic home if the title card of the movie is different than how it's listed on streaming service.
Oh, you're back. Hope fetching that wood wasn't too much trouble.
Met him at a Comic-Con in the early 2000s, and he was a super sweet dude. That's what I hear. I hear that all he does is work his ass off, and he's easy to work with and a nice guy, and he's always like, he's out there glad handing the fans and stuff.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that. And it's a damn sight better than the alternative. We're safe, we're warm, and we're hidden. What more could we ask for? Now stop fretting and take this. You've earned it. Welcome to the fold.
There's no need to...
That's not a matter of need, my friend. You're one of us now.
Vinegar Syndrome mentioned made me check their site, and they have an Eye for an Eye on Blu-ray. I'm not familiar with that one. I wonder if Batman Forever is Don the Dragon Wilson's biggest role. He gave me a bug. You know those moments of synchronicity where you're like, well, that makes sense. It only makes sense that these two things I love would be connected or related on some spiritual level. That's me, but with Batman Forever, because Don the Dragon Wilson is in it. Of course it makes sense. The dragon himself.
Well, take your time, eh? Not like we've got anything important.
There's a good girl. Hungry, are you?
Oh. The Yip Man director did Eye for an Eye? Should probably go through Scott Adkins' filmography too. Because he's been working. The thing is, like, it sucks. I don't know what happened. There's a lot of really cheap action films that just aren't that well directed. And they feature some of the, like, they feature good working stunt dudes, but they just don't really capture the action that well.
You want every bounty hunter in Storm harrying us from here to the Holy Capital. Besides, what's wrong with a shortcut through nature's splendor?
Action films are strange. Like, tons of them get funded, but it doesn't seem like they attract a lot of talent outside of the performers themselves. Like, there's never really that good of a soundtrack. The sets and lightings aren't that good. The directing's not the best.
You all right?
My homie Marco Zaror is in that new Scott Adkins film. Oh, I don't know who that is.
That there is a fine hound. Soon took to hunt.
But perhaps I'll meet them soon.
It's good to have you back, Torgal.
I don't remember the name of it. Hold on, I gotta look it up because I keep bringing it up.
Be caught in the forest after nightfall.
Hold on. A giant Chilean dude who could do standing flips. Hell yeah. Maybe he'll do some standing flips. The Killer's Game. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, that's the Batista one. Cool, he's in that. There was one more shot. Yeah, there's one shot and then one more shot. I want to check those out too. I think based on the name, it is like a one-take action film. But probably all sort of, you know, blended together and shit. An elite squad of Navy SEALs on a covert mission. Hold on. We gotta...
Suppose not.
Yeah, that could have been cooler, I guess. I mean, I am kind of fond of military action. But even that's kind of died off. We need more disgruntled veterans that come home to find their neighborhoods overridden with psycho gangs, and then they gotta dust off the old skills to protect their family. Lizzie Lar, thank you for the sub. My day has been a good one. Thank you for the benedictions.
Did I mention the big deadly beasts?
Look at how enchanted this forest is.
Deadly beast. Nothing a trained assassin can't handle, though.
How reassuring.
You're welcome for that and the shortcut.
Rebel Ridge? I haven't seen Rebel Ridge, no. Is that what we're talking about? We're saying is it a movie or a series? You always have to ask these days with streaming, you never know. So pretty. Hey Steph. Welcome home. You hungry? You want dinner?
Maybe they're friendly like Torgal. Or maybe they don't.
Oh man, I can see more of the... I don't think so. Oh yeah, maybe. Do you want me to just make the pizza? The mango hop pizza? Oh, I can try it. It's on PC now. Isn't this exciting? What? That's right. Game's on PC. Luckily, I don't have to wait that long these days. Yeah.
We still have a way to go.
Do you want me to throw it in the oven? Or do you want me to make... I have hungry recipes. We also have some leftover HelloFresh stuff. Sorry, we're negotiating dinner. Look at the vegetation.
This way, your lordship.
What's that? Okay. Oh. We have 2 frozen pizzas. For real? Oh, okay. Hello, Joey V. You're right, I should pet the dog. Pet Torgal. It's a very pretty game. How has it been running? Very well, Cosvac. I fiddled with the resolution scaling a bit, but I'm getting a solid 4K 60 with not a ton of noticeable scaling artifacts.
Of storm to fall to the blight.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Oh, sod. I'd invite him over for a cup of tea if I didn't think he'd eat the dog.
Aren't they home run in pizzas? Or why aren't they? They're not. Voodoo Ranger, I guess, sent us a experimental pizza in conjunction with Tombstone. Got chorizo, pork belly, hops, mango. I think pickled onion, I think. Or no, what's the red onion? Yeah. Cilantro. Chorizo, pork belly, hops. Stuff's reading the ingredients. Okay. Yeah, it arrived in a box labeled Nestle R&D with no note. I think I got on a Voodoo Ranger mailing list a while ago. It's paying dividends.
Well, that's the undergrowth sorted. I'll take it from here.
Here we go. One more. One more for Torgal. Oh, hold on.
Get it, boy.
Snackies for Torgal. Yeah. Running like a dream so far. I mean, I do have an RTX 4080. So pretty beefy video hardware, but it's looking pretty good.
After you.
Thank you kindly.
The ruins. They're everywhere, aren't they?
Oh, that's really pretty.
Some say there was a time they blocked out the stars. Down was the only way left.
I remember 16 having some really good vistas.
There's probably a lesson to be learned from that. But it can wait. Come on.
Yeah, your 3080 would be fine, I think, depending on what resolution you're playing at. If you're at 1440 or even 1080, absolutely. You might have to really lean on some fast scaling if you want to run 4K, but this game single player? Yeah, it is very single player. Futenma. As far as it being worth, I don't know. It's gonna be up to your tastes, I think. I think it's good. I like it a lot. But you know, I value bombast. I value production value. It's a very slick game, even if it may not be as mechanically dense as or content thick. There's a lot of Final Fantasy on sale right now. Huh, could you mention some must-haves or something of the sort? I could. Again, unfortunately, it's going to really come down to what kind of games you like. Because Final Fantasy is a franchise. Has a pretty broad splay of gameplay styles and and tone and things like that. I think their most recent releases are probably going to be their most widely appealing. 7 Remake, for starters, I think is a great place to begin. Apart from that,
Must be a nice
if you have any tolerance for retro games or slower paced menu based combat, which some people just do not like, I think Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster is a good one to go with.
Well, it appears we won't be going this way.
But yeah, I'm not even sure what's on sale, to be honest.
I'll admit I haven't counted on that.
9 with the Maguri mod, yeah. If you don't mind modding games. That's still on my my deep backlog somewhere. What's that, boy?
What is it, boy?
Why trust in your own animal instinct when you now have an actual animal at your side? You are lost. Press left click and let Torgal point you in the right direction. Okay, but what if there's treasure over here? There's not. Alright, Torgal.
At least one of us knows these woods. Thank you, Torgal.
Damn, this looks great. Just so enchanted.
Well, they look not too happy. And for once, it's not my fault.
Stay down! It's over.
This is stupid. I like wolves.
I don't think they care, Sid. That's enough.
Woo! The dingles don't stop, folks.
We did what had to be done.
Doesn't mean I have to like it.
No. No, it doesn't.
Everybody's dingling. I wish there were more of a reason to poke around all the corners of these areas. I guess there's Gil stuff, but there's not a really strong item layer to the game, so there's not a lot of reason to poke around. The environments are so good, I want to. I want there to be little bits tucked away in all the corners and for me to suck them all up. Yeah. Like truly insignificant amounts of Gil.
Sword sharp.
You'd better hope so.
This shouldn't take too long.
So much for your shortcuts.
Yeah.
What? Still short, just not quite as quick. But it'll be a damn sight quicker if you help me.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I fucked up.
Not this time.
shit. Use 2. Joey, I've played the game before, but I haven't finished it. So I played through most of the story, actually. I just didn't do the last part. I was doing side stuff, and then I didn't finish doing all the side stuff.
Where he stops, no one knows.
Who's that? Not this time.
I doubt he'll do that again.
Not if we kill him first. Not this time. Not this time.
Fafnir slain. Remember fighting Titan, that one guy in the ocean. Then I heard about the DLC, so I stopped, plus other games. Yeah, other games kind of took over. Also, I don't know. I was already pretty certain that the game was going to come out on PC eventually, so that was always where my true playthrough was going to be. I kind of stopped 7 Rebirth for similar reasons. Could have done that the whole time, huh?
You're dominant.
Ominous.
I am. Aye. Well, not by choice, mind. Whole bloody realm of strapping young lads. And it was this sorry sack of bones Ramu saw fit to home.
Sid, you say you want to help dominants and bearers. But what's in it for you?
What's in it for me? The same as for all of us. What we want and deserve. Save for our knack, dominants and bearers are no different from anyone else. The ability to use magic or summon great beasts should command respect, but instead is left as outcasts. Our kind are used and discarded like tools, yet we are men, so why must we die as less?
I see. So what you're saying is you want to start a war.
You flatter me, lad. But my days as a firebrand are long behind me. No, I only wish to offer our kind of choice.
I refuse to play games like that on my PS5. Oh, but what games? Ooh, PS5 got no games. None. I guess it has 1 now. 2. It's got Demon Souls and Astrobot. Are we gonna play Astrobot? You wanna play Astrobot? Dude, what if Astrobot comes out on PC? Although I feel like a PS5, like a game like Astrobot, where it's less about fidelity and more about frame rate and geometry. Like a PS5 plays Astrobot as bad as well as it could be played, I think. It's got no PSSR, but it will eventually. Does have backwards compatible knack. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, Stellar Blade, but that's coming to PC real soon. Gamer with 4 games breaks record for largest PS5 collection. It's funny. Shit's funny. I couldn't be happier that PC is where all the action is these days. Where you get the most choice, the cheapest games, the highest fidelity. The world has curated itself entirely around what I want, and I don't know how that happened. Speaking of, I got a pizza. I can smell pizza vapors from the kitchen, so my life continues to improve. I'm gonna wrap up the stream because it's pizza time, baby. No, it's okay, Verbose. Good meme. Thanks for watching, everybody. This game's enchanted. Thank you for the code. I got a free code for this game. I hope I disclosed that earlier and that you weren't unduly swayed by my thoroughly compensated for opinion, even though this isn't #ad. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Man, so many great games out there. Tomorrow, UFO 50, and I think I want to try to start Tactical Breach Wizards tomorrow. That's the plan. And it's not an Inside Games day, so I get to start streaming really early and just stream all damn day. Hell yes. That reminds me, my GamerSins queue, I still have to play Disco Elysium. On top of finishing up Metal Gear Solid 2, got Call of Duty World War II this weekend, this Freedom Friday, and many other delicious video games to get to. I still want to go back and play a ton of the releases this year. I haven't finished Black Myth. There's my Elden Ring run that's still kind of sitting back there somewhere. Lots of good stuff. Thank you for watching, everybody. Oh yeah, I'm going to get back to Star Wars Outlaws pretty soon too, I think. Man, a lot of good shit. All right, thanks for watching. Stay gaming, stay happy. I'll see you all next time.